Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Sorry, we're starting late. Internet connectivity issues again today. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the streamer real quick, and then we can get started. I'll set it right there. All right, that's good. Zoom link out to you guys real quick. All right. All right, guys, I'm gonna let everybody in the room real quick. So good morning, guys. Like I mentioned a few seconds ago, we're having internet connectivity issues. So I wasn't able to get on the live, but we're here now. So we got about 2 minutes till market open. I'm gonna just let everybody into the room. Once everyone's in, we can get started. Try to get the YouTube link up as well. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. YouTube's been having a lot of connectivity issues this whole week. I don't know if they're like upgrading their servers or something like that, but that's kind of what it seems like. We've had this issue before in the past. It's only temporary. It happens like 1 week out of the year or 1 week out of a couple months. But for the most part, I think we're fine. Solid. All right, we got 1 minute till market open. So yeah, it's sometime right now. Let me go ahead and take a look at the technicals over here. So looking at the technicals over here, obviously it's very bullish. Prices above the pivots. Trade meter is green. Looking at 3 minutes, same situation over here as well. Price is above the pivots and the trade meter is also green. Lastly, looking on the 1 minute over here, same situation, right? Price is above the pivots, trade meter is also green. So looking over here on the technical side, it looks pretty bullish. We just need to confirm it on the fundamental side. Market's going to open in about 20 seconds right now. We're going to confirm the fundamentals. If that confirms it, then we'll take it for a buy. I mean, if not, we'll just wait for some scalps. Today is Friday, so it's going to be risky. If you guys want to trade, I recommend possibly using a lower risk or to only take trades if you're absolutely certain it's going to go in that direction. So market is about to open in about 2 seconds. We're looking for a buy here, but we need to confirm it before we take it. So looking at this right here, it's coming all the way down. So it's doing the complete opposite of what we were anticipating, which is completely fine. Let me refresh this right here. Looking at the index hasn't updated yet. All right, so looking at this right here, the index is all green. So it should be bullish. It's up 25 points. So what I anticipate right here is, the same fake out that's been happening, all week basically. It basically goes opposite and then it shoots all the way back up shortly thereafter. So we're not going to hop into the sell right here. I mean, it's too risky to take the sell. Looking at market sentiment, majority of retail traders are short, so this is perfectly fine. We want it to be bullish. If everything goes in the opposite direction to the bullish side, that's perfectly fine because with more retail traders to the sell side, odds are it's probably going to keep pushing up higher and higher. So don't fall for this trap right here, guys. We're going to wait for this to pass. And then we're going to wait for the confirmation in the other direction. So we'll see. I'm not going to take any sells here. There's just too many retail traders that are short right now. Obviously, you can see right here, there's way too many, 70% short. A lot of retail traders are anticipating a reversal to the downside, but me personally, it's generally going to do this to lure in some sellers. And then all of a sudden, it's just going to skyrocket all the way back up, right? Like how it normally does. So, if you guys have been here for a while, you guys don't fall for that trap. You guys already know that this happens it's been happening almost every day this week. Let's see, looking over, go back to the fundamentals over here. See, fundamentals are up 170 points. There's no reason for it to be dropping right now. This literally makes no sense for it to drop like this. You know, I anticipate to spike all the way back up shortly. So we'll see what happens here. But we got to give it some time for that confirmation. I'm not going to just hop in for a buy right now. I'm going to wait for that confirmation first. So yeah, let's give it some time here. In order for us to get that confirmation, I'm looking for price to swing above here and confirm with a strong bullish candle. That's exactly what I'm looking for right there. That's just where's my MetaTrader at? See that? Oh, there we go. Man, MetaTrader is weird. It's like lagging for me. There we go. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for price to close above the pivots, but I'm also looking for a strong bullish candle, meaning a candle that has little to no wick on the top side. So if we get that there, then I'm probably gonna enter for a buy. So let's see. And like I said earlier, guys, it's Friday, so be careful. If you guys want to take these trades here, make sure to take them with like lower risk, or only take them if you're like absolutely certain. Price didn't close above it. I need price to close above the pivots here with little to no wick, like a strong bullish candle. We don't have that yet, so I'm not going to take the trade. And good thing we didn't, because it would trace down a little bit right here. But I do anticipate it to keep pushing up. You know, it makes no sense for it to drop right now. The entire index is like pretty much all green right here. It's like literally all green. There's only a couple stocks here that are red. The only one that's holding it down would be Intel and Honeywell, but everything else is very green. Amex is up 5 points, Visa is up 4.21, Goldman Sachs is up 3.3, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we're just waiting for a strong bullish candle. We need a bullish candle with little to no wick on the top side. And if we have that, we can enter this for a buy. If we don't get that strong bullish candle in the next 2 minutes, then we're just going to skip the breakout. We're going to look for some scalps. And then we'll just try to wrap it up for the end of the week. So looking at this right here, we need to confirm this move. So still no confirmation there yet. It did close above, but it wasn't a strong bullish candle. So it's, you know, it's a little bit of a risk to take this right here. I mean, if anyone wants to take it, this would technically be the breakout. Maybe I'll take it with a smaller lot size. Let me see if I can. I'm going to wait a bit. I might just try to piggyback it as it rides all the way up, but I'm looking for that strong bullish candle. So let's see. Yeah, it might be too late. I don't want to hop in all late and then it ends up swinging back. So I'm just going to catch it for a little move up to the top side. Fuck me, dude. Freaking, let me check if I actually made profit off that. It accidentally closed me out because I clicked it and I tried to click it a second time, but then it wouldn't execute. I don't know what's wrong with my computer today. My computer has been like really, I don't know if it's my computer or the internet, but it's been really laggy. Like right now, it took like a couple of seconds for my MT4 to even open. Let me see if I can, I just want to see if I made profit off that trade because I literally closed it like so quick. Oh, I did make profit. So I made a really small profit, like $200, which I mean, profit is profit, but I mean, there you go. This would have been the breakout entry right there. A risky one, but that would have been the breakout entry because we were basically waiting. Oh, there you go, full TP off that. So if you guys caught it, you know, great work. I didn't take it immediately because it looked like a risky trade, but we were waiting for price to break and close above the pivots right here. Also, this was like, I mean, it wasn't a strong hammer pattern, but it was still strong to the bullish side. So that's why I marked it up right here. And I mentioned if you guys wanted to take it, take it. I did take it for a little bit, but I didn't really make much profit off it. I'll send you guys my profits right now. I made about $200 across all my accounts. So basically 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I made about 1,000, which is not that much. You know, I would have expected more for a move like that, but I mean, it's all good. Shit happens. Let me go ahead and just copy paste this over, or I'm going to send the screenshot to you guys here in the premium for you guys who did catch it. If you guys have profits you guys want to share with us, you know, feel free to send them over. And I'll send you guys my little baby profits from this morning from this right here. I got to restart my computer today. My computer hasn't been on for like a month now. So that might be the issue with it. That might be the issue with it being so laggy. All right. So let me go ahead and send you guys my, it's like literally so small of a profit, but I mean, whatever, I'll send you guys it anyways. Screenshot that. I haven't made a profit like this small in a long time, but I mean, it adds up. So I have 2 FTMOs and 3 funding talents. So it adds up to 1,000. It's not really that little, but I mean, it's not what I'm used to, right? We're used to making like a couple thousand off this breakout entry. So here's the profit I made off that. I mean, it's really small. It's not very much. I made 200 off my FTMO. So basically, oh no, this is my funding talent. So my funding talent, like 2 times 3, that's like 600, because I have 300K accounts with them that I'm running right now. And then I have 2 FTMOs right here. And I made 230 off of this. So it's a little over 1,000, but I mean, it adds up to you know, a decent amount for the day, especially on a Friday. Getting some profit off that K² US 30 breakout entry. And yeah, everyone's sending me their profits right now. So if you guys want to send over your profits, feel free, and I'll add them to the list of profits for this morning. I mean, I normally don't even trade Fridays, so you know, any profit is really a good profit for me. Maddie over here locked in 3,737. Looks like he was trading before we got on this live session. He took that for a smaller lot size, like I mentioned, and he made about 2,972. Nice work, Maddie. Larishna over here. Larishna took this as well. She made a profit of 338, a total of 326 for the day. Nice work, Larishna. Tavon over here. Tavon took that buy as well. He locked in about 1,000 today as well. So nice work, Tavon. Let's see. All right, cool. Kyle over here too. Kyle locked that. He took that small trade too. Locked in a total of 210. Nice work, Kyle. Let's go down over here. Let's see. Joshua just met his 500 goal for the day, done for the week. Congrats, Joshua. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, guys. If you guys have gold in mind, just take your profit and then call it a day, right? Josh has been locking in 500 a day. So for example, if Josh is making 500 a day times 5 days a week, times 4 weeks in the month, times 12 months in the year, he would be at 120,000 at the end of the year. So definitely great work, Joshua, reaching your goal today. Rick over here locked in 2,215. He took that buy there as well. Nice work, Rick. New levels over here took the buy as well. He's up almost 1,000 for the day. Nice work. Joshua over here up 615. So he actually passed his goal. His goal is 500 a day, but he made 615. So definitely great work right there, Joshua. Bradley over here as well. Bradley made 225 off that trade. Nice work, Bradley. And Romani over here made about 600. So he took about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades this morning. All wins, no losses. Definitely great work. And Tommy over here, a total of 3,490. Nice work, Tommy. Lastly, Dre over here. Dre made 40 bucks over here. So 40 bucks in total for the entire day. He took about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So about 13 to 15 trades. But he's still like locked in some pretty solid profit, right, overall. And that's the key, guys. The key is consistency here. As long as you close out the day in profit, that's all that really matters, right? Definitely great work amongst everyone here. Joshua said Fridays suck and we still making money. Yeah, definitely. All right, so this is it for the 1 minute over here, or for that breakout. I mean, I'm gonna turn on my sorry, I'm gonna move this thing over. Zoom away. I'm gonna turn on my alerts to see if we can find any entries over here for these scalps before we call it a day. I'm probably not going to be on the session for too long because it is Friday. You know, I don't like trading on Fridays in general, but if I do see something good, you know, obviously I'll take the trade. So what I'm looking for here on the 3 minute is I'm looking for a retracement to the downside, and then I want to catch it as it swings back up. The reason why I want to catch it when it swings back up is because all of the confirmations are still pointing towards the upside. So, you know, just looking over here at the fundamentals, everything is still very green. Looking at the daily index over here, daily index is up almost 200 points. Looking at the futures data is up also almost 102 points, almost 200 points, sorry. And then looking at the market sentiment, you can see right there it was 70%, right? The reason why it went down to 69 is because a lot of these retail traders got stopped out. Basically this number right here shows you where all the retail traders are trading. If majority of them are short and then price spikes up like this, what do you think happens? They all get stopped out, right? Because what happened was, if you guys have followed me when I discussed the area of liquidity, there was an area of liquidity right here. There's also an area of liquidity right here. So what happened is when price came down right here and then it shot up, it stopped everyone out, and then it stopped everyone out right here. So when that happened, it created a stop loss hunt, right? You guys have heard of that before, where like it just shoots up. There's so much liquidity there. Everyone's stop losses get triggered, it just skyrockets to the moon, right? And that's exactly what happened here. So everything's pointing towards the upside. So if I'm looking for a trade here, I'm waiting for some sort of buy entry to appear here. Also looking over here at see 620. All right, I just have this marked up right here because generally after the first candle from US 30, price will do one of two things. It'll either keep pushing up higher or it'll come back below and reverse down here. Now, obviously you can see right here, it hasn't swung below, right? We have 7 minutes left on this 10-minute candle right here. If it closes above, odds are price is going to keep pushing up higher and higher for the rest of the day. And from my perspective, I think it's going to keep pushing up anyways because the technicals here all point towards the upside. Like here, I'm gonna give you guys a checklist, right? Step one, look at the technicals. What do the technicals tell you? Everything's bullish, right? Price is above the pivots, trend meters green. 3-minute price is above the pivots, trend meters green. Lastly, here on the 1 minute, price is above the pivots and the trend meters green, right? There's a possible 1 minute entry right here. I don't think this is something that I would take because it's a very risky trade, but I'll mark it up here for you guys, in case someone does want to take it. If it closes with a strong bullish candle, then maybe I'll take it, but it's going to be a risky move here. So like I was mentioning before, we confirm the technicals here, right? All the technicals here point to the bullish confirmation. Looking at the fundamentals over here, looking at the daily index, it's up 200 points. If it's up 200 points, it's very, very bullish. Looking over here at the actual stock index for US 30, the actual stock index is very green, right? Amex is up 8 points. Goldman Sachs is up 4.3. Visa is up 3.2. United Health is up 3.2. Boeing's up 2.4, et cetera, et cetera. They're all green right here. There's only 2 stocks that are really red. It's Intel and Honeywell, but they're only down about 2 points. So it's not very much. American Express can cover that by itself. Going over here to the futures data, it's also bullish. It's up 181 points. So that confirms a bullish move. So there's two confluences right there, right? We have the technical confluence. We have the fundamental confluence. Lastly, we confirm market sentiment. We want to make sure that we're trading the opposite of retail traders, right? All the retail traders here are short. 69% of people short in the market. So with that said, what are we going to do? We're going to buy. So all confirmations point towards the upside, but we're not going to enter the trade just yet. We're going to wait for an actual, entry to appear before we hop in. Because the thing is, if you hop in right away and you don't wait for an actual entry, you can get caught in some massive drawdown. So that's pretty much what we're waiting for here. So you guys have seen it here. Alex is asking potential all-time high. Let me check. Let's scroll out real quick. You are here. Let me just mark this up right here, Alex. All right, I got that marked up right there. Over here. Yeah, you're correct, Alex. So it's getting to that all-time high. That's the reason why a lot of retail traders are shorting the market because, a lot of people think, if it reaches all-time high, it has to reverse. But that's not always the case, right? In a lot of instances, it can just break right through it. So looking at this right here, Alex, thanks for reminding me. It's about 900 pips away from the all-time high. So it is definitely very close. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens from here, right? So that's one thing to be careful about. So like I mentioned right here, guys, I was mentioning this candle right here, right? If this candle closes below, odds are it'll continue pushing lower. If it closes above, odds are it'll continue pushing higher. So that's what we're looking for right here. We're waiting for that confirmation. My guess is that it's going to keep pushing up higher, Alex, because, the thing is, if there's a lot of retail traders shorting the market, they're going to spike it up. Or what they're going to do is they're going to mess with the market. They're going to spike it down. So people keep hopping into that sell. Then they spike it up to stop everybody out. Then they drop back down again. And they just do the same thing over and over until the sentiment starts changing to the opposite side. Once this number over here lowers to maybe like 65, 64%, then they'll probably dump it all the way down. if that becomes the case, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen. That's why we got to wait for actual confirmation before we hop into any of these trades. So as you can see right here, good thing we didn't hop into that buy, or good thing we didn't try to hop into that buy because it came all the way back down, right? There was no confirmation, so we didn't hop into that buy there. Let's see. Riga's asking, did you get stopped out of the trade from yesterday, or did you close it? I closed it when it came down, Riga. So if you guys remembered, we entered this what was it? I think it was a sell, right? Yeah, so this right here. So this is the trade here that we entered. When it came back down right here, I closed it for a small loss. Riga, like I held on to it for a long time, for about for about like 2 hours. So this was like 2 hours, this is like an hour, 2 hours after we got off the live session. After we got off, I just waited for it to come down. As soon as it came back down here, I closed it for like a $300 loss. Thankfully, I did close it, because if I didn't, it would have reversed all the way back up. So I did close that for a small loss. You know, I don't like closing for a loss, but at this point right here, I was holding it for too long. It was a 1 minute trade, and generally the 1 minute trades, we only hold for like a few seconds, right? We were holding that for a couple hours. So as soon as it dropped down to close to break even, I just manually closed it out. I was trying to close out at break even or at in profit, but unfortunately, you know, price didn't go that far down, and I was just too impatient, so I closed out for a loss. It was a small loss, thankfully, but it could have been a lot worse if I just held on to it till the very end. Oh yeah, exactly, Riga. Riga said it was unbelievable how much it went outside the market hours. I agree, because I generally stopped trading at 8, but for whatever reason, it was just consolidating for like a good 2 hours. So when it came back down, I just pulled out. There was no reason for me to risk it, especially when it's so far out of my trading hours. So, all right, guys, let me check the chat over here real quick. Let me see who's in here. All right, cool. Let me just scroll up real quick. Hey, morning, Semtex. Morning, Peter. Morning, Alec. Morning, Matt. Morning, Adrian. Morning, William. William said, I look like Shawn now with my 10. Yeah, no, definitely. Morning, Miles. Morning, Tommy. Morning, David. Morning, Eunice. Morning, RJ. Morning, Taryn. Morning, Jeff. Morning, Goldie. Morning, Delmas. Morning, Kyle. Morning, Michael. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Joel. Morning, Riga. Morning, Marcus. Morning, Adele. Morning, Logan. Morning, everyone else. All right, so it looks like everyone is in the room already. See, there's news coming up today. So thanks for reminding me, guys. There's a lot of things that I didn't confirm today. Like, as you can see, my computer is barely loading for a lot of these pages here. There was news this morning at 6:45. It was flash PMI. It was negative for flash services. It was positive for flash manufacturing. Obviously, that's going to affect the market slightly, but you know, I think eventually it's going to swing back up and just correct to the upside where it's supposed to go. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, Brittany said I've been lagging some also. I'm not sure if it's trading your MT4. I agree, Brittany. I'm not sure what's the problem. I don't know if it's just the internet or whatnot, but yeah, my entire computer has been lagging this whole week. So, I mean, well, it's fine. You know, we do what we got to do to trade this, even if our computers are acting like this. Let me scroll down real quick. Angela said, Shawn, how do you use the desktop version of MT4 on a Mac? Angela, you just go on the MT4 website, so MetaTrader 4. I'll pull it up for you. I don't know why it's in Chinese. Let's see if I can fix this. What the heck? Yeah, I don't know what's up with MetaTrader. I've never had it where it came up in Chinese before, but I don't. But anyways, if you're on the website right here, Angela, just go to metatrader.com. I'm like on the actual website. I don't know why it's in Chinese though. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so on the MetaTrader 4 website right here, go to MetaTrader 4 and then click on the X right here, which is Mac OS. And then when you click on that, it'll download it for Mac, and then you can use it on your Mac. That's how I use it. Let's see. Damn, Rav is still in the sell from yesterday. Damn, Rav's crazy. This dude holds trades for like so long. Hopefully it comes back down, Rav, for you, because you were holding that trade for quite some time. Yeah, sometimes you gotta learn to just pull out the trade, Rav. Actually, I mean, you could probably catch back up. You probably entered somewhere around here, right? So, but it's pretty high. Yeah, hopefully it'll probably come back down eventually, Rav, but you know, I don't know how far it'll drop from there. No problem, Angela. Morning, Ardonius. Morning, Al. Morning, everybody. So I think that's it for these questions here. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Hey, Satya, morning. Morning in the UK or afternoon in the UK. Yeah, no, definitely. Glad to see a lot of you guys here from different areas. But anyways, looking at US 30 over here, guys, I don't see anything available yet. Price is closed below the pivots, or not the pivots. It's closed below the opening candle right here. So price might be coming down actually, which is fine. We're going to keep looking at the fundamentals over here. You can see price is starting to drop. It was up 200 points. Looking at the stock index over here, it's starting to, it's starting to shift down. Like Amex was up like 8 points. Now it's only up 5 points. So a lot of things are starting to stabilize. They're just going down they're coming back to where it was prior to open. One reason for that is because it's probably overextended, right? You can see here from yesterday. So basically the entire day yesterday, it shot up from here all the way up here, right? So it needs to correct down a little bit, but I don't know how far it'll correct down to. So just looking from here to here, within one day, it's pushed up almost 4,000 pips. So that's a pretty big push up. It's going to have to retrace at some point, and that's probably what's happening right here. But our bias here still hasn't changed, right? Until we have the confirmation that price, like once this 10-minute, if it closes below here, and then it just keeps dropping further and further, then it'll confirm the reversal on the technical side. Looking over here on the fundamental side, it's still pretty green though. You can see obviously it's all right, let me change this right here. Okay, so it's still up 139 points, so it's still pretty bullish overall. We need the fundamentals to follow the technical side in order for us to really want to take something, in that direction. But it's all good. We got to wait for the confirmation anyways. Everything's kind of going opposite. Technicals are now dropping right here, but the fundamentals are still very green. So it can easily just swing back up. We really don't know yet. Looks like the Cleveland Indians baseball team have changed to the Guardians. I wonder if they're probably gonna have to change their logo too. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, no more Cleveland Indians. They're now the Cleveland Guardians. All right, anyways, looking over here at the fundamentals, the futures data is still up 195 points. So it's still up pretty heavy. Looking over here at okay, so you can see right here now it's 70%. What I see happening right here, this is a perfect opportunity for us to identify liquidity zones, because if the number here keeps increasing, it's going to have to spike up at some point, right? The market makers and institutions don't make money when retail traders make money all the time. So what they do is they give them a little, I call them gimmies. They give them little gimmies. They make a lot of these retail traders think that, oh, it's going to drop. So they have all these people bandwagoning onto these sells right here. And then when you least expect it, like when the last person enters the sell, it spikes all the way up, right? And it stops them all out. So right now I see the market giving them a couple of gimmies. I just call them gimmies because that's just an easier way for me to identify what they're giving. They're giving little freebies out, but they're just letting these retail traders win. Obviously, if you understand how a market works, like especially like markets like this, like if you're gambling at a casino, right? They let a few people win here and there because they want people to come into the casino. But then once they give out enough money, they just start, everyone has like a losing streak, right? I'm sure you guys have seen that before. You guys have witnessed that. If you guys go to like Vegas or like any casino, there'll be some times where you'll be winning, consistently. And then all of a sudden you just have a losing streak for like a whole week or like however long you're there, and you lose all the money that you made, plus you lose more on top of that. That's how the market is here. It's like a casino, right? The house are the market makers. They control the market. So what they're doing here is they're basically just giving some people's like some free wins here and there, and then they get their confidence up. As soon as they get their confidence up, they just will wipe them out of the market. So that's why I trade the way I do. If you guys have seen how I trade, I only trade like for 2 hours a day, because the thing is I don't like getting caught in market manipulation, which happens pretty much all day. Whoever tells you market manipulation isn't real doesn't know the market, because it obviously happens like almost every day. So just looking here on the 3-minute, I'm just marking up areas where I would anticipate people to place their stop losses, right? And the reason why I'm anticipating this is because generally, like if you see this dropping right here, like just think, reverse engineer your thinking, right? If you see this price dropping right here and you think it's going to drop because, say you don't have any of these indicators, like say I take everything off the chart and then you just see price drop like this, right? If you're a brand new trader, what do you think this is right here? I could show you a bunch of strategies, and this is why I don't follow any other strategies. I just follow what I use, because for example, if you follow something like this, where you draw a trend line here. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people do this before. They draw a trend line here and they're waiting for price to break and close below the trend line, right? They're waiting for, like, this is basic price action. They're looking for price to break and close below it. They see price break and close below it right here. What happens right here? They enter a sell, right? So they enter a sell here. And then after they enter a sell, where do they put their stop loss? They put their stop loss right above the swing, which would be somewhere like above here, right? It's where this is how everybody trades. And then they have their TP like way down here. You know, you've seen a lot of people trade 1 to 3 risk to reward. And then when they see this right here, they see it drop. And then what happens from here? More people enter. So more people enter the trade right here. And then it might get close to like your TP. And then as soon as it gets close, it just, you know, skyrockets all the way back up, stops you out. And that's why I'm right here just anticipating where people are placing their stop losses. Because if you can identify where people are placing their stop losses, that's going to give you a perfect area for you to cash liquidity spikes. Because that's pretty much where people's stop losses get, you know, triggered. The only way I use the strategy, because I've seen a lot of you guys try to mimic the strategy that I'm doing right now, where I identify these liquidity zones. The only time I use it is when the sentiment is above 70%. The reason for that is because that's a majority of traders, right? Now it's 72%. You see a lot of people right here bandwagoning on these sells right here. This is perfectly fine. I want people to bandwagon on this so this number gets bigger. And then as that number gets bigger, what I do is I just keep drawing more liquidity zones, right? I just keep drawing, as more zones swing up, I'll just draw some more liquidity zones so that when I see price come back up and it spikes these people out, you know, odds are price is going to shoot up even higher. When it shoots up even higher, I'm just going to keep stacking up those profits. So this is perfectly fine that it keeps dropping like this. I want it to keep dropping because I want it to create market structure where I can identify where these liquidity zones are going to be sitting. All right. So looking at this right here, I think the farthest, or I wouldn't say the farthest, but I think it might drop to this line right here. When it gets to this line, it's probably going to bounce back up. So this is a key area that I'm going to be looking for right here. This area right here. So if it reaches this point, it might come down and then just bounce off and skyrocket all the way up. Let's check the fundamentals real quick. So the fundamentals are starting to drop a little bit. I mean, they're still up 100 points. So that's why I'm still looking towards that direction. There's a couple stocks here going towards the red side. Caterpillar's down 1.1, Intel's down 2.7, Honeywell's down 4 points, but majority of the stocks here are still pretty green. Looking over here at the futures data is still up 181 points. The daily index is still up 109 points. So this is fine. But like I mentioned, and now market sentiment, there's more people bandwagoning onto these trades. This is why I'm not going to hop in just yet. So you see this right here? At this point, it might swing up. I mean, who knows? It might swing up from here or it might swing up from here. But for me personally, I do anticipate it to swing back up. This is fine if it swings up like this because this is just going to create a it's going to create a swing high. So basically, where I'm placing these liquidity areas are where the swings are sitting. So. All right, so we'll see what happens here. I'm going to mark this up as a liquidity zone right here. If price ends up closing above here, then you could probably expect some sort of spike. So you see that big green candle right there? People are going to get stopped out right now. So as you can see, it's 73%. As this, let's see if it's increasing. So now 73% of traders are short right now. As you see this spike up right here, you're probably going to see this number decrease because they're going to get stopped out. And then what's going to happen is it'll decrease temporarily. It'll probably go down to like 72%. And then all of a sudden, more people will enter some sells. So, you know, it's all about patience, guys. There you go. It's pushing up. So all these people right here who entered are about to get stopped out when it reaches this area right here. All right. So see that big green candle right there? It's liquidity getting hit. So we'll see what happens from here. And then, I mean, if I decide to take this trade, I'll let you guys know. Or if I see something, I'll let you guys know. But I don't want to take a trade just because I'm going to wait for an actual entry to appear. So, just food for thought if you guys are wondering exactly how this here is moving. Scroll over here real quick. Jumpy said, I'm trading 30 minutes a day, hitting my 500 goal every day. Nice work, Jumpy. That's all that matters, bro. 500 a day could get you a long way. That'll reach you. That'll get you well over 6 figures a year if you do that every single day. And it's easy. You just take one trade with me every morning, and you're pretty much set. That's all you really need. Loki said I entered a buy at 35,100, 35,013. Now it's negative 1,000. Wait, why'd you enter over there, Loki? Here, let me check real quick. So you entered, you entered like super high up here. So you're in some massive drawdown right now, Loki. Did you have a strategy that you followed to enter that buy right there? Because there was no entries available on the K2 strategy. I'm not sure if you're following any of the K2 strategies, but there was no entry here. The most recent entry was right here, and this actually hits EP. The reason for this entry right here is because price was above the pivots. The trend meter was green. That's not the strategy, but using the pivot strategy right here, we had a buy signal right here above the pivots, and then it shot up from there. But we didn't take that trade either because I mentioned, oh, this is at 6. This is before market actually even opened. So yeah, I'm not sure why you took the buy right there. I probably wouldn't have taken it there too, because just looking at it here, this is a huge upper wick. So this would have indicated to me that there's probably going to be some sort of drop following it. That's exactly what happened right here. Oh, you didn't use a strategy, you just hopped it. That may have been the case, Loki. It's fine. If it's like that happens. Back up, but I just don't know. It's still waiting for it to confirm the move to the upside. We still don't have that confirmation yet. It's still trying to push up from here. So I'll just extend this up a little bit. And these are just areas of liquidity. So these aren't support resistance, guys. A lot of people get this confused with the K2SR zones. These aren't zones right here. These are just areas of liquidity that I speculated from seeing where everyone's entering their sells. So looking over here, still 73% of people are short. But we'll see what happens in a little bit. All right, Razul said, Shawn, getting a lot of break in your voice. Can you guys hear me? Is there an issue with the mic? If there's an issue, let me know so I can unplug it. I'll do it anyways. I'll unplug it and replug it, plug it. Let's see. Might be the internet connection. All right, I just replugged it, so it should be fine now. So anyways, looking at US 30, guys, there's still no entry that's available yet. Looking over here at the fundamental side, it's still up 120 points. So it's very strong. It's still pushing up pretty strong. It's just, it's just a matter of time. It's like charging up to shoot up. I think right now they're still going to try to lure in some more sellers. Like I mentioned, the area that we're looking for right now is going to be down here. So we need price to come over here and possibly, bounce off this area. It doesn't have to come down here, but this is probably going to be the last area of rejection. So let's see. Nice. You guys did pretty good. Albert over here locked in 76. So nice work, Albert. Tommy over here. Tommy locked in a total, Tommy locked in a total of 5,100. Damn, Tommy, you're going to get like a 45K payout from FTMO, I think next week, right? For your funded account. That's crazy. It's awesome. So Patricia over here too. Patricia said, I done for the day considering I was going to trade today. She locked in a total of 3,809. Nice work, Patricia. Looking over here, Steven as well. Steven's up 6,387. That's crazy. So Steven took the drop right there when it dropped this big drop over here. So Steven caught it. He locked in a total of 6,422 off that one trade. After fees and whatnot, he made 6,387. Nice work, Steven. Congrats. Semtex over here too. Semtex locked in a total of 1,248. So these are his trades right here. Not bad. He made about 1,250 off that breakout. All right, congrats. Yeah, congrats to all you guys here killing it. If you guys have more profits you guys want to share with us here, go ahead and send them over and I'll add them to the list. Yeah, nice work, Patricia, 3,800. Ken over here as well. Ken locked in 530. So these are all different people here who locked in all these profits. Definitely great work amongst everyone here, especially for a Friday. We usually don't even trade on Fridays, but today was just, we figured we might as well. Duggan said, sounds good in Australia besides delayed 45 seconds. Let's see. Adele said, what do you think of the correlation between S&P and US 30? They do have a strong correlation. They're not always going to be correlated because they have different stocks in them. S&P is like US 30's little brother, right? Because it has a stock index of 500 stocks. So basically like the top 500 stocks in the US are in the S&P. The top 30 stocks are in US 30. So that's the difference. So they do have a strong correlation. They're not always going to be correlated like exactly, but for the most part, they do have a strong correlation. It's just that US 30 has less stocks, so it's more volatile, right? Out of the 30 stocks, if something here is moving, like for example, so let me just show you right here. Adele, right here is the Dow 30 index, right? There's only 30 stocks here. So if one stock goes up, one stock goes down, that can easily push price up and down, right? For the S&P, they took the S&P off. The S&P used to be on here, but there's too many stocks. So the S&P was like this, but there was a list of like 500 stocks there. So with 500 stocks, you know, one stock can move up and down and it won't even move price. You need like at least like 5 or 10 stocks to be moving up and down in order for it to move. That's why I prefer to trade Dow 30 because it's more volatile. But that's why we call you S&P Dow 30's little brother, because it's cheaper to trade and there's more stocks in the index, so it doesn't move as fast. So if you're too scared to trade US 30, you can trade S&P, but it's the same thing. You might as well just trade US 30 if you're confident, because you can make a lot more profit faster. Same with the Nasdaq over here. Nasdaq has the top 100 tech stocks. So looking at this right here, you see how big this index is right here, Adele? There's so many stocks here, right? So if one stock is moving up and down, it's not going to make a big difference. There could be like 100 stocks. There could be like 20 stocks here moving down, and then that'll push price. But looking at this here, there's too many stocks here, so it doesn't really move as fast. So the correlation here isn't between Dow 30 and Nasdaq, but it's between the Dow 30 and S&P 500, like you mentioned. So that's a correlation that I mentioned there. It's just basically a bigger stock index of very similar stocks, and they're smaller companies. So here we go. Price is pushing up past this liquidity zone. If price closes above here, we could probably expect some sort of a push up. The next area of liquidity would be up here. When price reaches this point, you can probably see it to spike up again even further. But I'm going to be careful, guys. Today is Friday, so I don't think I'm probably not going to trade anymore today. I'll just be on this live session for you guys. So if you guys have questions, feel free to let me know, and then I can answer any questions for you guys. It's 7:09 right now, so as it gets closer to 7:30, I'll probably be logging off, because I normally don't even trade on Fridays. I'm just here for you guys to answer questions and to pretty much clear up anything that you guys are confused with. So if you guys have questions regarding any of the K2 strategies, if you guys want me to cover anything, if you guys want me to analyze any Forex pairs, I can analyze anything. All of these, like pretty much this whole process that I use to analyze US 30 and to analyze Forex, it works on anything. I can use this on crypto. I can use this on bonds. I can use it on any type of currency. I can use it on stocks. I can use it on anything. So if there's anything that you guys want me to cover, just let me know, put it in the chat, and I can go over it. If you guys have a problem with risk management, trade psychology, FTMO, anything like that, I'm here to help you guys out, right? I want to make sure that you guys are all profitable like everyone else in the group. Looking over here at the profits for the day, Leilani here as well. Leilani locked in 310. Nice work, Leilani. It's good for a small trading day like this. On Friday, profit's profit. So like if you can close out the day with like 300 in profit, that's a win for you, right? That's more than what a lot of people make working a normal job. Like for example, if you made 310 today, you divide that by like 8 hours, it's like $38 an hour, guys. And Leilani did it in like a few minutes. So you guys have to look at the bigger picture. A lot of people don't like making like under 1,000 a day because they see me and they see other people here making like thousands a day, right? It's fine. It's all a building process, right? If you can make, like, say for example, right here, Leilani made 310 a day, right? Times 5, times 4, times 12, that's 74,400 in a year. And she only took 2 trades. So like, if you want to live a comfortable life and just take 1 or 2 trades a day and make this much profit, it's possible. You guys got to look at the bigger scheme of things. Don't try to be a millionaire overnight. It's probably not going to happen. But if you try to be a millionaire over the year, it's very likely. So definitely nice work here. Romanio, he locked in 693 and 69 cents. Definitely great work, Romanio. And he's done for the week, right? Same with Romanio over here. If he makes 700 a day times 5 days a week, times 4 weeks in the month, times 12 months in the year, that's 168,000. So if you're consistent and you don't lose trades, it's very easy for you guys to reach your goals. So let me see if there's anything else over here real quick. Dell said, okay, thanks. I took a buy on the low of US 30 because I looked at NASDAQ and S&P is rising. Yeah, no problem, Adele. Glad I helped you with that. Joey's asking, sorry, I've asked you this before, but what is the audiobook on YouTube for trade psychology? It's called Trading in the Zone, Joey. So if you go to YouTube, I mean, you can probably find it here. Let me search it up for you. I don't know if it's still there, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, so if you look up Trading in the Zone right here, Joey, it's like the first, I think it's this one right here. I don't, there's a lot of them here. There's like a whole bunch of them, but it's called Trading the Zone by Mark Douglas. That'll help you with your trade psychology. It basically just tells you that, you're in your head like all the time, which is true. And it'll help you, work on that trade psychology that, most people need help with. Let's see, Arrington on the 3-minute, when the pivots are close together, that makes it more risky trade, correct? Yeah, Aaron, if the pivots are really close, that's just indicating that price is consolidating, right? Because when the pivots are spread out like this right here, Aaron, this is going to identify that price is in a strong uptrend, right? So for example, right here, you see how they're spread out? Like it started to spread out right here, but as soon as it spread out, it started to push up very strongly, right? If you look over here and the pivots are really close, you can see prices just consolidating sideways. That's what makes it risky, because if it's consolidating, it's usually prepping for a breakout. So it does make it a little risky. I mean, it's not going to always be the determining factor, especially on the 3-minute, because it's such a short time frame. But if you look on the 10-minute, you can see that it's a little more clear, right? So for example, here, price is pushing up and they're spread out. It's a strong uptrend. When price starts to get kind of, it goes sideways, that's when the pivots right here start to jumble over each other. So it's definitely a key factor and a confluence to look at, but it would be better to look at it from a higher time frame, like here on the 10-minute. This would show you, it'd give you a better picture as to how price is moving. Because with 3-minute, it's just, this thing just moves kind of short. It doesn't really, they're smaller candles, so it gets a little choppy. But if you do see how spread out they are, it does show you kind of, how strong the trend is. And then if you jumble that with the trend meter down here, it gives you even better confirmation. Let's see. Hey, Paul. Paul said, hey guys, can't trade today. I'm currently at a ballpark calling a tournament. Oh, nice, Paul. Yeah, I think you said you travel as an umpire, right? That's awesome. Yeah, have fun out there, Paul. I mean, today's Friday anyway, so it's probably a good day for you not to trade. You probably should just go enjoy your weekend. Call it an early weekend for you. Logan said, I'm new to trading. I think I'm going to start setting some new goals. $100 a day. I want to get somewhere. I'm making 500 a day. Been taking too many trades. Yeah, exactly, Logan. So Logan right here said he's new to trading. He's going to start with 100 a day and then build that up to 500 a day. Like I mentioned before, guys, you guys don't have to take like a million trades a day, right? Like Dave, I don't want to call you out, but let me see what Dave did yesterday. So like Dave, as long as, well, it's fine if like it works, but so Dave's one of our traders here that he takes like 40 trades a day, which is fine if you're profitable. The only problem is like that increases so much risk, because out of those 40 trades, you can lose like one and then it just screws up your entire. Okay, so Dave, this is Dave's spreadsheet over here, right? So Dave took like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, about 30 trades here. So about 30 trades right here. He took them and only like one of them lost. But here's the thing, this is good when it's actually working, but when it's not working, you can go into a really bad spiral where you just end up stacking up losses, right? And I've seen people do that before. So this is fine if you're actually winning like consistently, but if you start to lose, this can be really deadly to your account. So just keep that in mind. For me personally, I only trade I take 1 to 3 trades a day, like entire day, right? Today I took 1 trade. I made like 1,000 across my accounts. Yesterday, I took only 2 trades. I made like 3,000 on this account, 2 trades on this account, made 1,400, right? So the thing is, if you guys are able to identify the really good trades, you can just take a bigger lot size off of a few trades, right? You only need to take like 1 or 2 trades with a bigger lot size, because the odds of that trade hitting are very likely, right? If you have odds on your side, I would take that risk. Like for me, I take the risk every day taking a 10 lot, but it's still within my parameters because I have a bigger account. So what I always recommend is to risk only 1/3 of your daily max loss, and then from there you can still be within your parameters without getting anywhere near your max daily loss. See Josh over here. Josh locked in about 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Josh. I'm gonna add this to the list as well. If you guys have more profits you guys want to send over, feel free, and I'll add them to the list here. But there's just no entries available at this time. So let me scroll up real quick and see what did I miss. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone else's questions here. Terrence said, is it even a valid entry below the pivots? It isn't, Terrence. It needs to be above the pivot. So all the requirements have to be met. There was no entry available here because this green signal didn't close above the pivots. It would need to in order for it to be a valid entry. Melinda's asking if I can take a look at gold. So I'll take a look at gold for you guys over here. All right, and I'll show you guys how I analyze things from scratch so that you guys understand my whole thought process when analyzing something like gold here. So I think, I'm sure if you messaged me about this last week, Melinda, but you can see right here, I did this markup for someone on Sunday. I'm not sure if it was you or someone else, but it did exactly what I marked Sunday that, it was indecisive, price possibly rejecting, the overall trend was going to come back down. So as you can see right here, it's still, it's still bouncing around. So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything off the chart. And then I will analyze this from scratch so that you guys can see my whole thought process here. So here's gold, a naked chart, nothing up yet. The first thing I'm going to do is identify market structure. To do that, I turn on the K²SR indicator right here. I go ahead and draw my zones right here to identify where the rejection points are. Got that right there. That right there. That right there. So what I'm doing right here is I'm drawing over the K²SR zones to identify the rejection points. And then once I turn that off and I zoom back out, we have perfectly drawn market structure, right? A lot of people have problems drawing market structure, but if you guys have the K2 indicators, this will make all the difference for you. So as you can see from gold here, price generally moves in waves, right? It goes from consolidation to breakout, consolidation to breakout, consolidation to breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. So what do you think is going to happen after this consolidation right here? It's going to be a breakout, right? So breakout can happen one way or the other. It can either break out to the upside or it can break out to the downside right here. Two directions it can go in. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the K2 momentum indicator right here. Looking at the K2 momentum, we're going to look at our bias, right? So our bias right now is a sell. The reason for that sell is because we have a sell signal right here. However, we need to confirm that it's going to close below the structure. So for myself, I'd be waiting for this to close below here. If this closes below this area right here, then we hit the jackpot at that point. Not really the jackpot, but this pretty much gives us a very solid entry. Because you can see right here, the last time that happened, look when price closed below here. It consolidated a bit, but then it broke below further. So if you took this sell here, you could have made a pretty nice profit right here of about like 240 pips, right? Same situation over here. It's in consolidation phase right here. If it breaks below, it'll probably consolidate a little bit, and then it'll just keep dropping further down, right? So until price closes below here, we're not going to have an entry, but when it does, then you can possibly take this for a sell. However, if price doesn't close below here and then it bounces off this pivot, you guys got to look at this from different scenarios, right? Scenario number one is price closes below here and then it continues dropping. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is if price bounces off this area right here and then it closes above here, then odds are, it can keep pushing up higher from this point. So just keep that in mind. You guys got to keep an open mind. You got to wait for that confirmation. Right now we have a sell bias. We're looking for a sell. If we get a buy bias, then we'll start looking for a buy. But right now, looking at this, pulling up the trend meter as well, it's also red. So this confirms another confluence that price is likely to come down. If you want to draw your own trend lines right here as well, it's obviously in a downtrend. If you turn on the pivots over here as well, price is also in a downtrend. It's below the pivots. So everything here is pointing towards the downside, right? So what do you think is going to happen here? Price is probably going to come down. but you would have to wait for that confirmation, right? You need that confirmation for it to close below here before you take that sell. I wouldn't take it right here because it can easily bounce up from here. So two different scenarios right here, but we are going into the weekend, so I don't really recommend that you guys enter anything right now or today, because last thing you want to do is enter a sell and then you come back Sunday, as soon as market reopens, it just skyrockets up, right? A lot of things can happen over the weekend. It's not safe to hold trades over the weekend, so I don't personally recommend it unless you're taking like a huge swing trade. But I'll tell you, probably not, especially not for gold. So I think that's about it for this here. Let me scroll up real quick. So that's it for gold. See if I missed anything else. Eunice said, "Hi Shawn, I trade DAX during the breakout strategy. Using the breakout strategy, what would be the TP stop loss setup?" So for me, Eunice, I'm not really familiar with like the range for the DAX, so I can't really say. Like from what I've seen from other people, they generally trade DAX quick. So you like to trade the DAX on the breakout because the DAX also mirrors US 30, moves kind of similar. What I would generally do is I would probably place it to, let's see. So for example, if you took the breakout right here, I'm not really sure because I don't trade it, Eunice, but I would suspect it's around 100 to 150 points or pips. I'm not sure if these are points or pips because I don't trade this myself. But I would probably use this breakout for London breakout. I would have used it for US because the market's kind of slow at that point. But looking at this right here, yeah, it kind of varies, Eunice, because right here, if you were to take this trade, I'd probably have a wider stop loss, maybe like 250 or 300 actually. Here, let me go on the 1 minute and I'll see what it looks like over here. So looking at the 1 minute over here at midnight. Okay, so midnight right here, if you were to take this for a buy, looks like your sweet spot might be 250 to 300 Eunice. So for example, here, if you took this here for 250, you would have hit I mean, it would have taken a while, but you would have hit TP over here. Or maybe that's too high. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to play around with the Eunice because I don't trade this, so I'm not sure how it moves normally. The only reason I understand US 30 is because I trade it every day. So I don't want to give you like a number here and then it's not right. I would expect you to possibly message people in the group, message whoever else trades in London, like maybe message Cheryl because she trades in London, maybe Patricia. You know, you guys know who's like the people here who are consistently profitable every day, right? It's like Cheryl, Patricia, a couple other, like pretty much everyone here is very profitable, but the people who like stand above everyone else would be like Patricia, Cheryl, because they trade during those times. So if you want to ask them, or if you want to ask any of the K2 admins as well, maybe like Sisuk, Josh, Kyle, CT. I'm not sure if they trade DAX, but the people that I do know that trade during London session would be like Cheryl for sure. She trades a London session. So if you maybe want to ask her, she can probably let you know what the sweet spot is, but I can't personally tell you myself. But just looking at this here, it seems like it's around 200 to 300 pips. If it's 200, you would have hit TP right here. So maybe it's 200. I mean, it just depends on how market conditions work. All right, so let me scroll up real quick and see what else did I miss. Let's see, Duggan said taking September off work. I'm going to sit in on Zoom for a month so I can take more trades and get that consistency. Enjoy the weekend. K2 Army going worldwide. Yeah, no, definitely, Duggan. I think it's like nighttime over there for you, right? It's like 1 a.m. in Australia. And I also think you guys are in lockdown, right? So you have a lot of free time anyways. So definitely, Duggan, I'll see you next week if you're logging off. But it is very late over there for you, so you should probably get some sleep. Charlie said, is it possible to buy on the 1 minute? Let me check real quick, Charlie. So let's see, we got the 1 minute right here. Let me just switch these back over to US 30 so I can see what the bias looks like. Let me check the bias real quick before we continue on. Bias right here is still for, I mean, it's kind of indecisive now. You can see the trend meter starting to turn blue. So it's indecisive right here. But everything is starting to shift to the downside. So it's starting to shift to the downside, but looking over here at the fundamentals, it's still up over 100 points. So it's up 100 points right here. There's a lot of news going on behind the scenes. Trump rally or Trump ally SPAC pulled. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here that's going on behind the scenes. But looking over here at the fundamentals, everything kind of looks green still. So overall, we'll have to see what happens. Looking at the market sentiment right here at 73%. Let me refresh it. It's now 72%. So you can see people are getting stopped out. Every time it spikes up slightly, it stops people out, right? So like, for example, right here, it came down, it spiked up, it stopped people out. Now it came back down, and then as it continues to push back up, it'll just keep stopping people out. But let me see what Charlie just said about the 1 minute over here. So Charlie again said, is it possible buy on 1 minute bounce off support line if it? So I would it's risky, Charlie, for the 1 minute, because for the 1 minute over here, it's let me turn on the K2SRs. Yeah, so I'm assuming you're probably drawing this right here, right? You see this support right here. So technically, I mean, it is, you could make moves off that, but I personally wouldn't, right? I'd look for an actual entry using the pivot strategy or something. Like, I would wait for price to shift to the upside. Like, what I would look for here, Charlie, is I'd look for price to come above here. And I look for rejections off the pivots, right? So say price comes up here, the pivots are still riding right here. I would look for price to bounce off the pivots. Let's sneeze real quick. When that happens, like, you have to sneeze, but it doesn't come right away. But yeah, so Charlie, like I was mentioned before, I would recommend that you wait for it to cross above it, because you can see right here, so same pattern, right? See prices below the pivots. See when price comes back up right here. This is what I would possibly be looking for. I'd be looking for something like this. Sorry, let me close this real quick. I'd be looking for it to come up, come down, because the thing is, it respects the pivots a little more than it does the K2SRs on the 1 minute, because it's on the 1 minute, there's a lot of noise. If you're applying this like on the 10 minute, then yeah, it would make more sense, because if you draw the zones here on the 10 minute, you can see that it really respects these supports, right? So like, for example, if price was coming up and then you saw it come down to the support right here, you could have taken the buy and then you catch that bounce as it bounces up. The 1 minute over here, it doesn't really respect it all that much. It does sometimes, but like, for example, right here, it can just bounce right between it. So I would probably not do that myself, especially because of how the market's moving right now, right? It's also Friday. You know what happened last time you tried it on a Friday, right? Fridays, it's too risky, bro. I wouldn't risk taking trades like that on a Friday. But I mean, if you want to, you can. But for me personally, I think it's just too risky to trade just off the support. I'd wait for it to come up and then confirm the swing back to the upside. Especially on Friday. If you're doing this like on a Monday, maybe it'd make more sense. But on a Friday, it's just too risky, because there's a lot of speculation going on, and you know, you might see price reversing on you when you least expect it. All right, let me scroll up real quick, see if I missed anything else. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Charlie, you still want to make the same move that you did last time, because I remember that last Friday. Roscoe said, can you go over the breakout? So Roscoe, for the breakout, it's basically we confirm the technical bias. I can't really go over the strategy when like it's past the breakout, because everything's kind of changed. But you know, just going over what I mentioned before, you might want to just go back and rewatch the session from the beginning, Roscoe, for what we were looking for. But basically, what we did here is I'll just rewind it to 6:30. All right, so looking at this right here, this is what we were looking for before market open. I'm not sure if you came into the room late, Roscoe, but it's hard to show you when it's already happened, right? Because the price is so far away. So like looking at this here, let me just replay it to 6:30. All right, so it's already a given that we had a confirmation of a bullish bias, right? Because we had the index over here. This is what I can't show you because it already passed this. You can't rewind this. The fundamentals here were all pointing towards the upside. So we confirmed the fundamental bias. Everything was green. We looked at the market sentiment. Most retail traders were short, so we're fine with buying. And then we looked at the technical side here. On the 10-minute, price was above the pivots. Trend meter was green. It indicated a strong uptrend. Same with the 3-minute here. Same situation. Price was above the pivots. Trend meter is green. And then here on the 1-minute, we were waiting for price to close above the pivots over here. So it closed above the pivots. With that said, we took this for the breakout. And then we let it run to about 500 pips. And that's how we hit our TP. So that's how the breakout worked. If you want to see a more detailed breakdown of how it works, go and rewatch the mentoring session from last week. So we have a mentoring session from, I think, the 19th, or it was like, let me just pull it up for you, because I actually went over it there more in detail. So if you want to go back and watch that, that'll explain to you exactly how it works. It's just hard showing you live because markets, it's so far off already. But yeah, go here. It's about 3 days ago on Monday on the 19th. I had a mentoring session. If you go and watch this mentoring session right here, I covered the breakout pretty in detail. I went pretty detail right here. I also covered a lot of other stuff. So just go to videos here, go to the most recent thumbnail with a green background. That's mentoring session. And you can watch exactly how I explained the breakout strategy there. It's just kind of hard for me to teach it right here when the market's currently moving. Let me scroll down real quick. William said, does FTMO pay you out even if you scalp 20 seconds on the trade? I mean, I've been doing this I've been using FTMO for over a year now. I haven't had any issues with them, William. So so the difference with me is that they've probably seen my consistency, right? I've been trading like this for a long time. They see that it actually works and that I'm like, they make money off my trade. So that's probably why it's a little different for me and probably for new traders. But FTMO, I've never had problems with FTMO. Like they're the gold standard in funding. That's why I only recommend them. But they have paid me out. Like I've never had issues with them before in the past. So I do think that they're okay with it. As long as you're consistent, they just don't want people gambling. They don't want people putting like 30 lot sizes and going for like a few pips and then they blow their account the next day, right? Because the thing is, if they copy your trade and then that happens, then, it's just going to be all bad. So just keep that in mind. Scrolling down over here, Aaron said on okay, I answered that question already. Semtex said, I work all month for 500 as a teacher in high school. Here I earn that in 10 minutes. K2 strategy is awesome. No, definitely, Semtex. I'm glad to hear that. This is probably going to be your escape, so you don't have to deal with those kids anymore. Semtex said, thanks, mate. Love the K2 community. Going down. Abraham said, yeah, I had about 25 trades today to 200. 2 of my trades were 120 loss. Yeah, sometimes you guys just have to minimize your trades. Don't overtrade. Guruji said, I'm on Global Prime and MT4 keeps freezing at open when price is volatile. It does not update for 15 minutes. I have an 80 megabyte per second. Let's skip through your message real quick, Guru. Freezing is killing my confidence. How should I get my first funded account, have some cash flow and afford a new PC? Is there a strategy which suggests since my snipe and scalps are not working, do I have to find someone to trade my? So Guru, your question, you have a lot of like split questions here. I mean, your first problem is you're using Global Prime. That's probably one of the shittiest brokers that I've heard of like in the past. So that's already your problem there. What you can do is just change a broker, right? You don't have to use Global Prime. There's like hundreds of brokers out there. And I think that's kind of where you messed up. You're using a broker that is kind of scammy. And that's why, you said that it freezes and they don't update. If that's the case, the easy fix it is change your broker. You don't have to use Global Prime. So to your first question, you're asking, how should I get my first funded account? When you get your funded account, you don't have a choice of broker anyway. So if you just do FTMO, they're not going to give you Global Prime because they don't use shitty brokers. So first step would be to not use Global Prime, right? If you've been having issues with them, common sense would tell you not to use Global Prime, right? Switch to a different broker or do a funded account with, I'm assuming like FTMO or Funding Talent. I don't recommend Funding Talent, but if you want to do it, you can. But FTMO would probably be your best option. So that first step is to use a different broker or do FTMO. Your second question over here is there a strategy you would suggest? I mean, all of our strategies here work. There's more than 7 strategies here. You don't have to scalp. So there's another answer to your question there. Use any of the other strategies. Your other question here is, do I have to find someone to trade my account? That's gonna be a definite no. You should never have anyone trade your account. Being a lazy trader is not gonna get you anywhere, right? And I know you're gonna say that you're not lazy, but the thing is, if you're looking for someone to trade your account, you're just being lazy because you're not looking for a solution. There's a solution to everything. You don't have to have someone else trade your account. You can trade it yourself. I mean, your excuse here is that your snipes and scalps aren't working. The fix to that is to use a different broker. So once you use a different broker, you should have no problem. So I think that's it for your questions there. Let me scroll down a little more. Yeah, I wouldn't use the funded trader challenge group. So the problem with, so we have some members here with the funded trader challenge that they made a lot of profit like the first month. Like I think it was Patricia or Cheryl. They made like 40K the first month, and the funded trader that broke that funding company froze their account. They just suspended their account because I don't think they had enough money to pay them out. They're a brand new funding company, so I wasn't expecting much from them anyways. But yeah, I wouldn't use that funding company. Like guys, I don't understand why people go to these like smaller funding companies. FTMO is the gold standard. If you guys can't cut it with FTMO, like you guys won't be able to cut it with any other funding company. So what I would recommend is if you guys do want to do a funding company, my biggest recommendation is going to be FTMO because I've never had issues with them. I've been with them for over a year. If you guys have seen what kind of traders trade with FTMO, it's always the bigger, more well-known traders. You don't really see a lot of these well-known traders using funding talent and stuff like that. I only use funding talent because Cheryl kind of influenced me to do it with her. But now that she's having issues, I don't really want to mess with funding talent. I still use them. I use them anyways, but because I only use them because I have the account with them. But if they end up taking my account away, I'm not going to be surprised because they've been doing shady things like since they began. There's nothing new with them. If you guys look at funding talent, they've had lawsuits in the past where they haven't paid out or they aren't taking people's trades and stuff like that. So I mean, if you guys like funding talent, then go ahead and use them, but I wouldn't recommend them to anybody. So let me scroll over here real quick. Abraham, just Google funding talent lawsuit. There's a lot of lawsuits with them. There's a lot of issues where they're not paying people out. They're using a lot of excuses saying that their server was down. I mean, that could be an excuse that their server was down. The problem with one of our traders here is that, so she was, I guess she was exploiting the market with with UK 100, right? Because UK 100, they were having issues with their server. So what happened was she made 86,000 in profit, right, for last month, and then they suspended her account. And they were like, oh, we're not going to pay you out. We'll just give you a brand new account. What's the point of having a brand new account if you're not paying out? You're not going to want to trade with them anymore, right? So what happened was Cheryl, she was going to ask them to just pay out on the other trades because she traded US 30 as well. But those trades weren't affected, but they were still like, oh, we're not going to pay you anything. We're just going to give you a brand new account. That shit makes no sense, right? You work so hard to make 86K in a month, and then they tell you, oh, I'm not going to pay you out on any of your trades, not the ones that were affected, but any of your trades. So that's the big issue right there, right? If you're getting gypped 86,000 for trading their account in a month, wouldn't you be upset? But it affects people differently. Some people are still like fanboys for funding talent, which is completely fine. But I'm never going to recommend them to anybody. So scrolling up real quick. Let me see this over here. Let me scroll up real quick. Chantley said, sorry, I'm going to go scroll up real quick. I think I missed a couple questions here. And yeah, no problem, Guru. I wasn't trying to point out like any of your questions, but from what I mentioned before, just use a different broker. That'll help fix it for you. D's asking if we're still waiting for pivots to price a shift above pivots. So it's 7:40 right now, so I'm probably going to be done trading for the day. But yeah, for the most part, we're looking for a price to shift above the pivots to take the entry here. Definitely. Patricia said, Shawn, thanks very much for a great week. Have a good weekend. Getting off, so I'm tempted not to trade. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, Patricia, 100%. So yeah, definitely have a great weekend, Patricia. Let me scroll down real quick. Nice, Semtex. Semtex said, I'm done. Have a great weekend, guys. All right, Semtex. See you next week. Eunice is good. Yeah, so if the 10 points work for you, Eunice, then yeah, keep using that for your DAX. Scroll down a little more. Chandley's asking, what broker do you recommend, Shawn? So, I mean, it depends on what you're trading. If you're trading US 30, I don't like to recommend unregulated brokers, but I've used Chico's way in the past and I haven't had issues with them. So they're okay if you have a smaller account. If you have a bigger account and you want to trade like a big account, like you can, that's regulated, you can trade with TD Ameritrade or you can trade with TradeStation. Those are the two that I do recommend, but they do cost a lot more if you want to trade with them. So it's going to cost you a lot more initial capital to start with. Yeah, that's crazy. I just saw your message here, girl. Sorry, I'm just catching up with your messages here. You said that you had a 90-second delay to close your trade. That's crazy. I would just change the broker if that's the case. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, there's a video on it too, Roscoe. So if you want to go back or message me on Telegram and I'll send you the video where I explain it. But I also explained it in detail in the mentoring session too. Kenneth said 3 minutes sell just hit, 1 minute miss, both valid, I think. Yeah, I agree. No entries there yet on the 3 minute. Let's see, Kyle said daily 10-minute signal. Yeah, I mean, technically this would be the daily entry right here. If you wanted to take it, Kyle, I wouldn't take it though. It's Friday. So, you know, that's something to always keep in mind, guys. Keep in mind that Friday is a risky day because the thing is, once you're funded, Kyle, you can't trade over the weekend. So say, for example, you take a trade here and you hold it past market close, you're going to lose your funded account. So I would get it. I would get used to the understanding that you should probably not trade on Friday, or once it reaches a certain time period, like 8 o'clock, you should probably not trade. Because if you're holding this trade past like 1 o'clock, you're going to lose your account. You can do it on challenge, but once you're funded, you're not going to be able to do it. So you should probably not make that a habit anyways to begin with. But yeah, technically if this closes right here, this would be the daily entry. But I'm not going to take it. There's not enough time in this session for us to catch this entire move to the upside right here. So just keep that in mind, Kyle. Let me see if there's any other zones over here. Yeah, there's no zones. But yeah, technically, if this closed right here, this would be the daily entry. And we'll follow it. If it closes right there, I'll mark it up, but I'm not going to take it myself. Robin said, so FTMO is better. I was told funding talent was. I've seen bad reviews on FTMO. Didn't see much on funding talent, but I did lose my elite account when gold plummeted last week. So from my perspective, Robin, I've been using FTMO for over a year. I've never had issues with them. I've seen those bad reviews before on and usually those bad reviews are from people who can't pass the challenge, right? But for me personally, I've never had issues with them at all. I've never had issues with FTMO. The only time we've had issues are with funding talent. I personally haven't had issues myself because I'm still working on the accounts. But our members here who are funded, they're they did have issues with it, so that's why I'm just letting you guys know. If you guys want to use it, that's completely fine. But I just want to give you guys a heads up so you guys don't get caught in that issue, and you guys are wondering, like what's the problem with their account. So looking over here, we have a couple more profits. Let's see, Richard over here locked in a total of 600 for the day. Nice work, Richard. Steven over here is up 6,716. Nice work, Steven. And Patrick over here as well. Let's see if I copy this over. There we go. Steven's up 6,716. Steven said, done for the day. I hope everyone has a blessed weekend. Definitely. And Patrick over here as well. Patrick locked in a total of 3,287. Nice work, Patrick. And he's calling it a day too. So I think I'm going to call it a day as well. Let's see Joshua over here too. Joshua's up 605. Nice work, Joshua. Yeah, definitely. Joshua said, have a great weekend, bro. We Padres beat Marlins yesterday, 3-2. Thanks for all you do. Definitely, Joshua. Glad to see you here. I'll probably see you again on Monday. So Abraham over here too. Abraham had you took a lot of trades, Abraham. You had a couple losses here, but you made it right back. So you had a couple losses, but you made it back. So you're definitely in profit for the day. And let's see, your total for the day was a total of 881. So definitely great work. Abraham said did okay for today. Glad to trade with you and the rest of the team, Shawn. Definitely glad to trade with you too. Alec in here too. Alec's up 930 for the day. No losses. So no losses for the day, guys. We did pretty solid for a Friday trading day. Looking over here, I'll go over everyone's profits. And then if there's no more questions, we'll probably just wrap it up and call it a day. So I'll go over here real quick. Let's see. So the timestamp for today is right here. You can see it says today in my saved messages. I'm going to scroll from the top and then we'll go down from here. So let's start from the top right here. All right, we got Romanio. Romanio locked in 454 for the day. Right here, we got Maddie. He locked in 3,737 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Larishna locked in 326 for the day. Congrats. Tavon over here locked in 995 for the day. We got Kyle over here locked in 210 for the day. Rick locked in 2,255. New levels over here locked in about 1,000. And as you guys can see, everyone here is a different person. Joshua locked in 615 for the day. His profit goal is 500 for the day, and he locked in 600. So definitely great work. Bradley locked in 225. We have Romani over here, 597. Tommy locked in 3,490. Dre locked in 40 bucks. Albert locked in 76 bucks. Tommy again locked in 5,100. Patricia locked in 3,809. Stephen locked in 6,387. Semtex locked in well over 1,000 right here, almost 2,000 right here for Semtex. Yeah, 1,248. Nice work, Semtex. Ken locked in 530. Leilani locked in 310. Romanio locked in 693. Josh locked in 985, about 1,000. Richard over here locked in 596. Stephen locked in a total of 6,716. Patrick over here locked in 3,287. Joshua locked in 605. And Abraham locked in a total of 881. Lastly, we have Alkin over here with a total of 930. We got one more over here, new levels, locked in 1,370. Nice work, new levels. So definitely great work amongst everyone here. I think we're done with the questions. I don't see anything else here. It's about 7:48. At this point in time, I generally like to stop trading once it gets close to 8, because at this point we start to see the mid-market reversal happen around 9 o'clock. So Jeff, if you're still on this call right now, you know, we have this talk every day. Stop trading, bro. Because what happens is I always tell you guys to stop trading, and what happens is you guys keep trading, and then as soon as you guys trade, it reverses on you, right? And then my answer is always going to be the same. It's always going to be, Jeff, did you listen to what we talked about yesterday? You got to stop trading when I stop trading. So yeah, no, Jeff, you can see Jeff here on the Zoom. Jeff said, I'm logging off, bro. I'm up 850. I'm done. So yeah, Jeff, I know you're here. So, you know, just remember what we talk about every day, bro. When I'm done trading, you should be done trading too. And with this situation here, you know, it's fine. Just keep stacking up. You made 850 today. Like, just think about it, Jeff. Look at the long-term aspect here. If you make 850 a day times 5 days a week, because I trade 5 days a week, 4 weeks out of the month, 12 months out of the year, you'd be up 204,000, right? You guys got to look at the bigger picture here. Don't look at making like $1 million overnight, make $1 million over a year, or make it over a month. You know, it just depends on how you guys like to trade. So other than that, guys, I think that I'm done for the day. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. I do have, let's see, I have about 300 emails to get to today. So it's probably gonna take me a while to get to. If I don't respond to you today, give me at least 1 or 2 days to respond. If you guys message me on Telegram, give me at least a day to respond. So other than that, have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you guys back here on